And welcome to our very first Geek Time podcast. I am Bradley Dunn, or as I'm known on YouTube, Studio 95. Welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are going to like this. Every week, I'm going to be doing a whole podcast about everything geek, from geek culture, just anything I want to talk about that's geeky. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Geek Time was actually a show I originally did on my YouTube channel, which you might be watching this from, because I'm going to be chopping this up into parts and putting it on my YouTube channel. But the whole thing is going to be available on this website, actually. I forgot the name of it. Let me go and try to look. What's it called again? Shit. Well, you know this website it's on. It'll be in the description below. This is getting off to a great fucking start, isn't it? I can't even remember the site this is fucking going to. Oh, boy. This is what happens when I do things at 1:30 in the morning. Anyways, I guess we'll just get right into it. This podcast, for this time around, is going to be what I'm going to be calling a catch-up. It's going to be called a catch-up podcast. Why? Because I'm going to be talking about some geek stuff that I missed over the last few months, from E3 up until more recent. We also have a few things I'm going to be talking about today. I really cannot talk, and it's going to be a good show. So we are going to start out with E3, and E3 back in June. From what I remember, there wasn't really a whole lot that blew me away. I know with the Xbox presentation when I watched it, there was really only one thing that I was like, fuck yeah on, and that was when they announced that the original Xbox games are going to be backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Now, I'm hoping it is with every Xbox One, and not just the Xbox One X, which they also announced, which is going to be a really expensive version of the Xbox One that does 4K resolution. I know here in Canada it's going to be priced at like $679 per console, which I think is fucking ridiculous. But, you know, that's the way it seems to be. Things in Canada seem to cost a little more than the US. Oh, by the way, I'm Canadian, if that didn't give it away. And, yeah. But yeah, I really hope that is on just a basic Xbox One, because if it is, that's what I'm going to be really looking forward to. Because I never played a whole lot of original Xbox when I was younger, because I never owned one up until about 4 or 5 years ago. I got it as a birthday present from my friend Jack, Big Jack Films on YouTube. He gave it to me for a birthday gift. He found it at a thrift store and gave it to me. So, yeah, that's when I first got one. I always just had a PlayStation 2 and a Nintendo GameCube. I was never, like, an Xbox person until the Xbox 360 came out, when I got that for Christmas one year, and I right away was hooked. And that's why I have an Xbox One today. I would have probably switched to PlayStation otherwise. String my water there. But that's really the only thing from Xbox that I'm looking forward to. That came out during E3. Nothing really at all from PlayStation. I didn't watch their presentation, but from what I've heard, there wasn't really much that was interesting. But surprisingly, an interesting presentation was Nintendo. They announced quite a few things for the Switch and whatnot. Obviously, they announced Splatoon 2, which is now out, and like, you can buy it. I've never been a big fan of the Splatoon series, personally. Series, there's only one other game. But I never actually played the first one. It looks like it'd be a fun little, like, fuck around type of game to waste your time, kind of like Call of Duty or Halo or something like that. And it's something I would play if I, was at a friend's house and he had it, and I'd probably play with him or something like that. And maybe if I buy a Nintendo Switch in the future, which I'm really thinking about doing, I might pick it up. The second one I might pick up just to try it. But it's not a 100% thing. Yeah. But I know Nintendo announced quite a few good things at E3 from what I remember. The thing I remember most that really intrigued me, actually, was the amount of Metroid stuff that they announced, which really surprised me because they've really been lacking on the Metroid over the last few years. I mean, they had that one on the Wii U that apparently was like a piece of shit. Or was it the 3DS? I really can't remember. But from what I heard, it was a piece of shit. But they're going to be coming out with a new Metroid Prime game, which I am looking pretty damn forward to, I'm not going to lie. I think it's about time that we're getting more Metroid games. You know, Metroid's been gone for a while. We've been missing her, you know? And yeah, and they're also putting out one on the 3DS. And speaking of that, they just recently announced they're going to be doing a special 3DS for this game. Unfortunately, the game's not going to come with the 3DS, which, I mean, I think that kind of sucks. I think they could have included the game with it. It would have been like a really cool little bundle to buy. I would have really have liked that. But nonetheless, I do like this 3DS. I don't own a 3DS yet, so I'm contemplating maybe getting the Metroid one just because it looks really cool. And really, that was about it from E3. There wasn't a whole lot from E3 that interests me. But, I mean, it wasn't all that bad of a presentation. The presentations were not all that bad. I didn't really watch too many, so whenever I watch anything from E3, I really only watch Xbox, Nintendo, and sometimes the PlayStation lineup if I have the time. And I don't really watch any other ones. Like, I know, like, E3, Square Enix, and a bunch of things like that. They do presentations there, and I don't really watch them. I just kind of, look at my Facebook and see what has come from that, presentation, and I just find that's easier. But I do like watching the Nintendo and the Xbox ones just because I do find them entertaining. So, there's that. And I think with that said, we are going to move on to our next topic of discussion because there's really not much else to say about E3. The following was a highlight from our podcast on archive.org. Please go into the description below and hit the first link if you want to see the full podcast. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Take care.